So talking about picking your poison with the teams, which one do you want to go with first?
Let's do Allen first. The Uncle Rico of the draft.
How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains?
Uncle Rico. The Ryan
He, I'll tell you what, you could fall in love with his arm, watching him sling a football 75 yards.
Mm-hmm.
It's impressive. But that's all it is. It's just impressive.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
You complete a lot more 7 to 12 yard passes than you do 47 yard passes.
Yeah.
So I don't ever remember, other than a few Hail Marys, a quarterback having to throw the ball and having it have to go 75 yards for the receiver to catch it. And those plays are very few and far between. I think if he was going to Kansas City, that'd be alluring with those two maniacs there with Hill and Watkins just running the streaks.
Sure.
However,
Well, that's obviously not an option. Mahomes has a good arm.
Mahomes has yeah,
He's got a very good arm.
he does. But Allen, I struggle with his accuracy. If you're a fan of Allen, you could say, well, he was. The two arguments that go back and forth with each other is, oh, he's playing against subpar competition. Why didn't he dominate? And then the other argument for that is he's playing with subpar competition.
Yeah.
That can't catch a pass.
That's exactly it.
So,
you know, when people start talking about conference, I don't want to talk about conference competition. Like, you look at a player, and it's not often you see this, but you look at a player like Khalil Mack.
Mm-hmm.
When Mack was at UB, it was clear he was a dominant presence regardless of what team you put him on.
Mm-hmm.
But there were a lot of people, myself included, that said, guys, he's dominating people with his quick twitch. He's fast. You get him up at the next level. I can't say that I see that.
Mm-hmm.
But he evolved into just an animal on the outside. But that comes with a lot of work. It wasn't just his speed. He learned how to harness that power. That's the thing with Allen that's getting me a little bit, is that he's got the power, but you need more than just power. This isn't NASCAR. You're not putting the hammer down the whole time you're on the track. You can't do that.
Cole Trickle.
I'm dropping the hammer.
No, you're not.
The point is that with Allen, he's got the arm that you would love your quarterback to have, but the truth is, you don't need to have the arm that Allen has.
See, that's where I disagree somewhat. To go back to your point about Khalil Mack, he's the only player, I think, that went from college to pros and had less guys blocking him.
Yeah.
He was getting
that was a good matchup for him.
double and triple teamed every play in college, and then he finally got one-on-one in the pros. Allen, that arm is great if you're not making your reads yet on time, and you still need to get it there.
Yep.
That's huge. So that's where if he's progressing through his reads slower than usual, he could still make a read late and get the ball there.
Sure.
That's huge.
Sure.
These other guys, none of the other four can say that. They have to make their reads on time. So that affords the offense, the receiver, the offensive coordinator, it affords them more time.
Mm-hmm.
And he can make certain throws within the game that because of that arm, you can design different types of plays if you want. You can have a guy run a 20-yard dig coming in, and even if he makes the read late, he can get it in there.
Mm-hmm.
So it opens a little bit more up for your offense. Teams have to be aware of the arm. I just don't know if the head goes with the arm. That's the only thing with me.
My biggest concern with Allen is, this is going to sound like I'm being nitpicky, but he's so wide when he throws a football. he takes up a lot of space when he throws a football. He's got a real long stride.
Yeah,
It's so long.
You actually lose power when you do that too.
Sure.
That's the funniest part.
Sure.
And he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
That's scary.
Well, and that was, if you go back and you watch him in college, and you'll notice it right away, you'll see he takes up a lot of space to throw a football. And then you go and look at his pro day, and he's tight window, right? But pro days are rehearsed. They're not asking him to do something that he hasn't been doing for the last month.
If you don't dominate your pro day, something's wrong.
Absolutely. So you have the ability to work and say, no. On this rollout, you're getting too wide, get tight. But as soon as you put those pads on, those old habits are going to come back, and it's going to take a few years to get them gone. You can't just erase those types of tendencies in a month. Not only that, but as somebody who grew up playing ball, I mean, you shorten your stride, now everything is different, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now your launch angle is different. Now you're going to start having the north to south accuracy issues because your hips and your shoulders are going to clear at different times. We're talking, this is a major overhaul by just bringing somebody's stance in, because it completely impacts the angle of the shoulder and the hips when you release a football. So to me, huge red flag. That's why I really was, and the reason that a long stride is a problem in the NFL is that pocket's real tight. You don't have the space to give. You got to keep everything there. You got to keep everything within your window. And he is oftentimes outside of frame, right? He's often out of shoulder frame. And as soon as you get out of shoulder frame, you're going to run into a problem.
That's the thing I always question, the fact, like Jordan Palmer, working with Sam Darnold, working with a lot of these guys. He's worked with guys prior to the Jeff and stuff. You're telling me that a kid that's maybe started playing quarterback at 10 years old, starts throwing the ball, doesn't really start to develop it until he's, let's say roughly in high school. But you develop those habits. So for 10 years now, they've been throwing a certain way. You're telling me in 3 months you're going to fix that?
Yeah. No way.
You're not. Because when things break down and things get hot in the pocket, you resort back to muscle memory. And that's what's going to happen. There's going to be a lot of throws where it may even float. His elbow might drop.
Yep.
He's gonna jam his finger on a lot of helmets of guys in front of him. You just can't do that. You take that long stride, and you got those 300 pounders coming back into you. He may tear an ACL his first year. Believe me, I'm just saying from past experience, those are the things, because I had an elongated stride. Not to say that I had anywhere close to the arm that Josh Allen has, but when you have an elongated stride, you're gonna step on a lineman in front of you. The release point is so much different.
It's just more to hit. As a defender, it's more to hit. And when it comes to Josh Allen, I really feel like we started hearing a lot of noise because the Bills are preparing to not be able to get up at 12. So to let it leak that you really like Josh Allen is not a bad idea, because if he's there at 12, you're like, listen, you heard we liked him.
Yeah.
It's preparing the contingency plan, because you don't talk up Rosen, you don't talk up Mayfield, you don't talk up...
They're hedging their bets, you're saying?
Absolutely. So I think if you let it as an organization leak that you like Allen, the fans are going to fault you for not being able to trade up to get your guy. So if you can champion a guy through the media indirectly, right? All sources, right?
Yes.
All through sources, and he falls to you in the draft and you get him, perfect. The Bills did not do that with Manuel, right? They kept a lid. Everybody knew they needed a quarterback, but they kept a lid on the fact that Manuel was their target the whole time.
Yeah.
Here, I don't really think that's the case. If they can trade up, I really feel like they're going to. But if it's too much and Bean isn't willing to part with it, then, we just kind of all assume that Bean is aggressive. Really, I mean, the moves that he made were not aggressive moves. They were intelligent football moves. He wasn't selling the farm to get a guy. He wasn't aggressive.
It was very on par with what he's done so far. He's getting rid of players from previous regimes to get players he wants.
Right. Yeah.
And because it's the timing of when it's happening, that's the only difference. That people are, oh my God, because we've never seen this before.
Yeah.
It's something very new to us. And the Bills, majority of the time, they've been very quiet in the free agency period and leading up to the draft. So, complete new front office, complete new attitude and direction. And they want to get their guy. We just don't know who their guy is. That's a little bit of the mystery about it. That's why there's so much talk about all 5 of these guys. So, I mean, if they go with Allen, scale of 1 to 10, how worried would you be?
McCarron's starting, so it won't matter. Allen will not beat out McCarron. In
Seagram's?
Ooh, all right. All right, Seagram.